This is Valley News Live at 6.
The investigation continues into a mass shooting at an Indianapolis FedEx facility. A former employee killed 8 people there Thursday night and injured 5 more before killing himself. And now we're learning more as investigators try to answer the question of why.
The shooting victims at the Indianapolis FedEx facility ranged in age from 19 to 74. 8 people who went to work like every other night, but this time did not come home. 5 others are expected to survive their injuries after a former employee with a rifle opened fire.
Couldn't believe it was my mama who got shot. I didn't believe it until I saw her.
His mother is expected to make it. So is Kristen Johnson's father. His car a constant and chilling reminder of the violent attack.
And looking at his car, he has 12 bullet holes in it. So the fact that he's even still alive is... That's a lot.
Investigators have searched the home of 19-year-old Brandon Hull, a former FedEx employee. He was already known to law enforcement. The FBI said Hull's mother previously warned them he might want to be killed by a police officer.
He was found in a couple of police reports.
The killings drawing an emotional response from President Biden.
This has to end. It's a national embarrassment. It is a national embarrassment what's going on.
Congressional Democrats say there are steps they could take that would immediately impact the number of mass shootings in the U.S., but are hitting a roadblock in the Senate.
Just basic steps like universal background checks for gun purchases, closing the boyfriend loophole, closing the Charleston loophole, simple ways to make people across this country safer.
Now, yet again, 8 more American families are left to mourn.
Our aunt, Amarjit, she left her kids night before, and then she's not going to come back ever. Her 13-year-old and 19-year-old, they're going to look for answers every day.
Answers that might never come. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
North Dakota House Assistant Majority Leader Scott Louser of Minot has been cited for driving under the influence. In a statement, Louser said Highway Patrol pulled him over in Bismarck late Thursday or early Friday. Louser says he's taking, quote, the necessary steps, including an evaluation process. He's been the Assistant House Majority Leader since 2018. The pandemic forced many to rethink workspaces, and so did North Dakota lawmakers. After millions of dollars were used to renovate the inside and outside of the Capitol building, legislators aren't stopping the oncoming changes. The legislature has mandated a study on the special needs of committee rooms, possible expansions of the building to accommodate growing needs, and potential upgrades to stay compliant with the American with Disabilities Act.
We've noticed some things where we could potentially become more efficient and more functional, and that's what this study is looking to address. Do we need to look at renovating committee rooms? Do we need to look at restroom situations?
Lawmakers recently approved $750,000 to improve handicap accessibility around the campus. Meanwhile, Fargo firefighters responded to a 2-alarm fire around 5 a.m. this morning at the Grand Inn Hotel located on the 3400 block of 14th Avenue South. When emergency crews arrived on the scene, a fire was seen venting through the windows of a second-floor room. Firefighters were able to quickly put out the fire, and all occupants of the hotel had escaped before firefighters searched the building. Fire damage is estimated at $25,000. No civilians or firefighters were injured in the fire, and the cause is still being investigated. And this afternoon, emergency crews responded to a traffic collision involving a motorcycle and a car near the 1500 block of 10th Street North in Fargo. Authorities tell us 2 people were taken to an area hospital, and no further details were released. We'll have more details on this as they become available. The Mandan Police Department is asking for help in locating a missing woman. Police say the missing person is 23-year-old Madison Flimmer. Officials believe she is in a red 2008 Dodge Avenger with ND license plates 531 DDL. If you have any information, contact Mandan Police at 701-667-3250. Well, Summer, what do you have for us today?
We've had lots of sunshine today. Overall, it's been a fairly gorgeous day, if you ask me. That's just my opinion. It's been fairly cloudy the last week, but check out this tower cam time lapse. Lots of blue in the sky, just a few passing clouds for our Saturday afternoon. And take a look at that temperature in the upper left-hand corner of your screen, 58 degrees. It was at 5:49. Right now on satellite and radar, most of the cloud cover is across the extreme southeastern corner of North Dakota, but we also have more cloud cover up across the northwest, moving into the Devil's Lake Basin, and you might see a little green on radar too. We'll get to that a little later on. But right now, temperatures mostly in the 50s. Grand Forks still at 60 degrees, even though a few more clouds are moving in. 55 in Thief River Falls, 53 Bemidji, 54 in Fergus Falls. And the gustiest winds right now, gusting to 32 miles per hour in Jamestown, 26 miles per hour in Valley City. We do have a cool down on the way. Nishay, we're going to be falling from the 50s tonight down into the 30s, and a cold front tomorrow, spelling a little bit of trouble. I'll time out that hour-by-hour forecast in just a bit.
Well, I guess everybody have to bundle up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Summer. The World Health Organization warns the COVID-19 pandemic was at a critical point, with thousands of deaths confirmed per day. And it's not showing signs of slowing down, as this week's global daily new cases are nearing the all-time highs of back in January.
More than 3 million people worldwide have died of COVID-19 since the start of the pandemic, according to Johns Hopkins University. As for the U.S., the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says nearly a third of adults in the U.S. are fully vaccinated. But health officials say the country is not in the clear.
Even as we accelerate our efforts to get shots in arms, more dangerous variants are growing, causing increases in cases with people without immunity.
This week, Johns Hopkins reports more than 20 states have confirmed at least a 10% hike in daily average positive infections.
The increasing trends in cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are very concerning, and they threaten the progress we've already made.
The University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation says the U.S. didn't make much progress against the virus this week and forecasts 58,000 more COVID-19 deaths by August 1st. And while some Americans are hesitant to roll up their sleeves for a shot,
we're not saying we'll never get it. We just want more time. We want more research. We want it FDA approved thoroughly before we actually put it in our body.
Experts say it's necessary to win the war against COVID-19.
Widespread vaccination is the only way we will ultimately move past this pandemic.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
The United States Department of Defense will be sending Moderna COVID-19 vaccines to military bases overseas. It's to make up for a shortfall created by the pause of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine distribution. Some new reports this afternoon concerning the University of Oxford AstraZeneca COVID vaccine and blood clots. British researchers say 23 patients developed a rare clotting syndrome 6 to 24 days after receiving the first dose of the vaccine. The majority of clotting occurred in the vein draining from the brain, and none of the patients had previous clotting disorders. Health officials say the syndrome is very rare. The AstraZeneca vaccine has yet to be approved for use in the U.S. Cars, vans, and motorcycles packed the Veterans Memorial Arena in West Fargo for the Valley Vintage Car Show. From the young to old, fans of cars came out to see vehicles ranging from today to all the way back in 1911. However, hidden in the back room, one man faced his childhood and met the person who brought it back to life.
It's just about bringing the smiles, bring those memories back, being able to connect on just an emotional level, on just something that people enjoy.
Would love to go back in time just to see this car and everything. I would love to do that.
The car show continues tomorrow at 9 a.m. Face masks are recommended. And later on Valley News Live at 6, the launch of a new network for country music fans will soon hit your TV screens. Stay with us to learn more. And Summer will be back with another look at your forecast.
We got a cold front coming, and it's going to bring some mixed showers, cooler temperatures, and wind. We'll have an hour-by-hour forecast right after this.